Meet Brandon Brootal.
Because of some bad rumors this one girl spread that are pretty bad.
I'm Broly! So far,
And someone saw me swinging my skateboard around and called the police.
Brandon Brootal, also known as Black Veil Brandon or Keith McKennison, is a 35-year-old man from North Carolina. And like many other people in 2008, Brandon found himself interested in the emo scene. While I have covered a goth personality on this channel before, this was my first time looking at emo subculture, and I found it extremely difficult to differentiate between the two. Each side claims to be more in tune with the emotional aspect of the dark themes involved in the scene, while claiming that the other is purely about aesthetic. From what I've been able to tell, there are slight deviations in their styles. Goths love two things: invading Rome between the 3rd and 5th century, and Victorian-style clothing. As where your emo is more skinny jeans that are ripped up and a band t-shirt. It's all very hard to differentiate, so it's mainly based on what the person identifies as. And Brandon chose Team Emo, being this way for almost 2 decades, long after the peak of emo popularity. Due to a combination of that, as well as Brandon's awkward personality, he would find great success on TikTok, starting his very first account in the year of 2020. And though we don't know much about Brandon's early life, these TikToks would give us a great insight to just exactly who he was.
You want to be my friend, you have to be 18 and up. You want to date me, you have to be 21 and up. Why? Because I'm not no Davey Vanity. When you do your eyeliner and flatten your hair, but you get caught in the rain because the rain comes out of nowhere, you don't have an umbrella.
These quote-unquote skits that Brandon made were very popular. As I previously stated, the emo scene was no longer at the height of its popularity, so to see this middle-aged man still rocking the 2008 look attracted a lot of people. And of course, the comparisons to Davey Vanity were made. Comparisons which he absolutely despised, but would seemingly never escape. But skits weren't the only thing that Brandon was known for, because he also produced a number of extremely popular singing videos, where he would sing emo verses into random household objects.
Screaming into much energy drink can, part 2.
So far, I can't you! I'll put your name into my song, I'll be a fire that'll get you!
Okay, perfect weapon scream.
One final fight, moments till night. Knives and pens, we made a promise.
Out of curiosity, I had to go listen to Perfect Weapon by the Black Veil Brides, and he did pretty good. It definitely took a lot of effort, and it was noticed because these videos were insanely popular on his TikTok, only seconded by the skits. But despite these kinds of videos being popular, it seemed like Brandon's main passion was either dancing or motivational speaking. He would tell people over and over that he was completely comfortable with who he was, and that they should be too.
I get called poser, fake, and wannabe, and not emo every single day because of some rumors and stuff. But hey, you know what? I'm not convinced one bit I'm not being who I truly am. I'm not convinced one bit I'm being a poser, fake, or wannabe at all. Because I'm comfortable with myself, I'm secure in it, and this is what I really like, and this is who I really am, and no one can change my mind, and no one will change my mind. I dressed emo and listened to emo since 2008, and did my hair emo since 2008, and I'm not going to stop, because that's like who I am. And what I'm going to say is, what's important is to know who you are. Don't go by who people assume you are. Don't know who you are because people assume you're something you're not. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going by who I truly am. I'm not letting the people's assumptions of me, really messed up assumptions, bring me down.
I'm sure that y'all caught that last bit. He's not gonna let people's messed up assumptions about him bring him down. Now, on its own, this is a harmless enough statement. You could assume that it's in reference to his emo lifestyle, but if you continue to watch more and more of Brandon's TikToks, then you realize that he talks about rumors and assumptions quite a bit. I first began to notice this when Brandon talked about a girl that he used to date in his hometown, where Brandon states that he can no longer date girls in town because his ex has spread rumors about him.
In my area, there are a lot of girls, and I think other guys too, or people who listen to emo that I could hang out with and be friends with, and there's girls who listen to it I could date, but unfortunately I'm alone. They don't talk to me because of some bad rumors this one girl spread that are pretty bad. A person who has a vendetta against me in my town, causing all these people to bash on me. Okay, I am literally getting bashed on. Some people try to hit me with their cars sometimes. You know, sometimes when I'm even in the car with another person, you know, the thing is, yeah, I'm getting bashed on, but you know what? Yeah, be yourself. Like, that's all I want to say. It might not help you, but just wear what you want to wear. If it's what you like, go for it. Everyone, there's some stuff went around that made me look bad. Made it hard to get emo girlfriend, but I do feel really lonely. Like, I really want an emo girlfriend to grow old and happy with, but I'm gonna keep my head up. I'm gonna find that one girl for me one day. So
this is but a sliver of all the videos Brandon has posted talking about these rumors, and some of them are even worse. If you've seen the title of this video, I'm sure that you can assume what Brandon has been accused of later in the timeline. But the clip I'm about to show you is before he was exposed to the wider internet, and in hindsight was very telling of what was to come.
Hey, I have to say this again, because people in my town don't understand. I'm only friends with people who are about, 18 and up, and I only date women who are 21 and up, basically. 20 maybe, but 21 and up, preferably. So, but just wanted to say that because the people in my town don't think so. I do not like kids. I do not go for anyone under 18. The people in my town are stupid. Yeah. Like, so basically they don't get it. So I'm not really attracted to anyone under 18. It's got to be like at least 20, but preferably 21 and over, basically. 18 only be friends with someone, but dating is like 21 and up.
As you can tell, there was trouble in paradise. Brandon already had accusations floating around about him in his hometown, but things were about to get so much worse online. It would all start with rumors circulating that Brandon had passed away. He hadn't posted to his TikTok for a while, and people ran with the meme. Brandon would have mixed reactions to these trolling attempts, but still he would feed into it, causing the situation to only intensify as time went on. The next big thing to happen to Brandon Brootal would be the loss of his first TikTok account. The TikTok was not deleted or banned. Brandon simply forgot the password, leading him to create the now infamous TikTok page, Brandon Brootal 7. And this TikTok would start out with a bang, when Brandon revealed that he would be taking a extremely long break due to a forced haircut.
Hello everyone, so I'm probably not going to be posting videos much anymore because I was forced to get my hair cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait until my hair grows back in to post more videos.
True to his word, Brandon would post very few videos until his hair was back at its appropriate length. And when he returned, viewers reacted in a number of ways, many claiming that his appearance had changed drastically in the months that he had been gone. But despite the people saying that, no one could claim it wasn't the same old Brandon.
Hello everyone, so I went trick-or-treating, and I got lots of candy. Let's see. Let's look at all the candy I got. Alright, you can see it. Look at that. Oh. That's a buttload of candy.
He began posting the usual content, urban exploration, singing, and dance videos. It seemed like the second coming of Brandon Brootal had finally happened, and that his old content would resume as usual. But it would in fact be the opposite, because this point in the timeline is what I like to call the beginning of the end.
Hello everyone. Okay, I am very excited. I am no longer single. I have a girlfriend. Well, it's long distance relationship though, but it's still a relationship. But she went ahead and ordered some stuff for DoorDash for me, and she got me all these boxes of chocolate and everything, and other stuff too. So I'm really happy about it. So yeah, I'm no longer single. I am taken by a beautiful girl. I think her name is Sammy, and she's very cute. Her voice is very cute, and so that's what I wanted to say, because I'm excited about telling people about her because I love her so much. So yeah, I'm really happy with her and everything. She's exactly what I like and everything. I mean, yeah. So anyway, just wanted to brag about her a bit. So I'm go ahead and go.
In 2023, DMs would surface of Brandon Brootal speaking to what he thought was a minor. I would also like to bring up that this supposed catfish used actual images of a real child who was unaware and had not given their consent. Absolutely scummy of the catfish to do. While he thought that he was speaking to a young girl, Brandon would send a number of illicit images and messages, bringing up the fact numerous times that he was not a sicko, he just thought she was a cute emo girl. Even claiming in one message that if she wasn't real, none of this could be used against him anyways, as well as stating that he wanted to meet with her in person. Rightly so, this was a disaster for him, and initially Brandon would throw out all kinds of excuses for his actions. First claiming that the messages were photoshopped, and then claiming that his account was hacked, frantically posting TikToks trying to prove his innocence.
He used it to talk dirty to a filthy minor, and then the minor thought it was me and screenshotted it and spread it everywhere on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere. And thanks to the hacker, I looked at all the comments of how people felt about me before the screenshots. And no one feels like that about me anymore. Thanks to the hacker making me look like a fucking making me look like Davey Vanity.
I think now we can begin to piece together why there are horrible rumors floating around about Brandon in his hometown. Years before he had been exposed for all of this, he had made numerous TikToks discussing these rumors, dancing around exactly what they were. But we would get a much better idea when someone who lived near Brandon would speak out on the situation. Her name was Kat, a fellow member of the emo community. She claimed that she was being harassed and romantically pursued by Brandon quite aggressively, that Brandon had made numerous threats and disturbing statements about her. She also made it very clear that she had no intentions of associating with Brandon, despite his constant advances.
He has allegations against him for being a child predator after falling for some bait online. Screenshots of him talking to the alleged minor began to circulate the internet. Meanwhile, my information was within these screenshots. These were the same screenshots being used for other influencers and people online to tell their friends and tell their audiences. My name and my information is being put out there under a negative light for something that I'm not involved in and I never asked to be involved in. After the allegations were publicized and I blocked Brandon, he went live walking down a street that I recognize in our city. He claims to be looking for me, saying that if he just knew where I lived, he would show up at my front door. He's also telling his viewers to reach out to me for him and to get me to talk to him. The point of this video was to just clear up any confusion and to publicly state that I am not associated with him and I want no part in this.
If you need even further proof that Brandon has been extremely creepy towards Kat, then look no further than the clip I'm about to show you, which has been censored for obvious reasons.
So it's completely gone now. It's not gonna happen anymore. So that's good. So let my friend Kat know that. And I wanna be honest about something. Not that long ago, okay, I had a picture of Cat Catastrophe in my phone, and not that long ago, I was kind of off to it a little. I don't care if you let her know about that. She already knows I like her that way, so she already knows I like her that way. I still would like to just be friends with her, because I know she has a boyfriend, and she doesn't like me that way, so I still want to just be friends with her again.
Kat would bring up a disturbing post that Brandon had made in reference to her, claiming that he wanted to find where she was and saying, and this is a quote by the way, that his fists knew no gender. Though Kat began to fade out of the story and Brandon's interests, his fists would be a completely different story. You see, Brandon lives with his dad, who he also refers to as his roommate, and to say that they don't get along would be an understatement. Shockingly, Brandon's dad is not emo, and seemingly has little understanding for his son's lifestyle. Keep in mind that Brandon is 35, making his dad, at the very least, in his 50s, so it's probably a very hard thing for him to get, and this has led to numerous confrontations with Brandon, and you'll understand why when I show you this next clip. In an attempt to embarrass his dad, Brandon would make a TikTok displaying the abhorrent conditions of his room. It seems that Brandon's dad may have a bit of a hoarding problem, and instead of offering to help clean, or do anything to assist your elderly father to not live like this, you take a film of probably the most embarrassing thing in his life and display it to thousands of people.
This is the room. Okay. Oh, it looks pretty bad. Holy shit. Oh my god. What the fuck? Holy look at that. What the fuck? Dude, let's check out this shit right here. Oh, look at that. Ew, food just sitting there like that. That's gross, yo. Whoa, look at... I don't like Diet Coke. Diet soda.
You know what I've noticed? The people who like diet soda really like diet soda. It's almost like a way of life. But I digress. The conditions of that room were abhorrent. We've all been messy teenagers at one point in our life, at least the majority of us, but this is pure filth, with food waste and God knows what else hiding in there. I also noticed a couple of bottles of alcohol, along with the sheetless mattress. It's clear that Brandon's father is not in a particularly good space mentally himself, so I'm sure many of you are shocked that Brandon and his father argue often. Sometimes it's not just arguments, it can get physical, with one of these events being caught live. You see, Brandon and his father share a wall, with each of their rooms being located on one side of it. Brandon likes to live stream late at night, usually quoting anime very loudly, and one night when his father had enough, we got one of Brandon Brootal's most infamous clips, where during a fight with his elderly father, he proclaims himself to be the Dragon Ball Z character, Broly.
Mortal ass bullets, nothing but dust.
Hey boy.
I wasn't doing nothing. I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm trying to get ready for bed.
That's why you're talking?
No, I'm
I
just...
heard you in my fucking room.
No, I'm trying to get ready for bed and you're interrupting me.
Interrupt you for you go to bed? Dude, what I come here for? I'm in my room. My TV full blast and I hear you.
Yeah, I want to go to bed.
And so you were going to bed, and so you gotta talk to yourself before you go to bed? We're gonna talk about this, man. You guys stop talking. You gotta motherfucker you fucking I'm Broly! Hit me, come on, hit me. You're out here. Good. Hit me, motherfucker. Hit me. Come on. Hit me. Hit your dad. Motherfucker. It's nothing.
Anybody else have a father who called him boy? I'd mess up big time, and Papa Kiwi would be like, God damn it, boy, what the hell are you doing? When I was a kid, I found it very demeaning, but now as a grown man, me and my father call each other boy. I wish Brandon and his father could have had such a positive evolution of father and son tension. It seems like they have not moved past the point from when Brandon was an unruly teenager. In fact, this speaks to a lot of aspects of Brandon's life, that he has been stuck in this teenage emo way of thinking for decades, unable to move forward. Yet another common theme when it comes to Brandon, neither learning from his mistakes or attempting to improve himself because of them. If you need further proof of this, look no further than the clip we're going to discuss, because Brandon would find himself in yet another controversy soon after the fight. Voice messages would be leaked yet again of Brandon speaking to what was supposedly a minor. I could find no proof of him being shown her age, but this is widely regarded as the second time that Brandon was caught. And given the way that he speaks during this, it's not very surprising that this is the conclusion the public has came to. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a warning. These voice messages are pretty unsettling.
Hey, pretty lady. Yeah, I know. I sent a voice message to your other friend, hitting on her. The thing is, I'm very well that this shit is all creepy, but I really don't care because you both think I'm a kid dipper, so you can't break what's already broken. So anyway, yeah, I was looking at your TikTok videos, and I saw that one video where you had no makeup on. You looked cute. You looked so damn adorable. Just want to snuggle you. Make you my snuggle kitten. I'm sorry. I'm getting really creepy. But anyway, yeah, I was looking in your eyes and it made me feel shit. It made me feel like a lot of warm, fuzzy, blissful shit. And then I started having fantasies of like holding you close and snuggling you and just being with you and putting a ring on you. I fall in love with women really fast, okay? I'm trying not to but anyway. I'm gonna look emo again once I get my shit. Once my dad picks up my band shirts and my ex, Sammy, gets my eyeliner, black hair dye, my black nail polish, door dashed to my room on either Tuesday or Wednesday, then I'll be happier and looking the emo way I usually look. But yeah, so like I'm honest when I say I'm not a kid dipper. I'm not a kid. I'm not into minors. I just love adult women. Like I said, you can't break something that's already broken. You already think of me as a kid, so it doesn't matter if you think I'm a creep too. So, whatever. So yeah, I gotta go.
I know I shouldn't be laughing about this situation, but when he says, I look in your eyes and it makes me feel shit, that's just romantic right there. It's exactly how I proposed to Miss Kiwi. Will you make me feel shit for the rest of my life? But I digress. For the second time, Brandon had had illicit messages leaked online, and this caused him to go into panic mode. He would begin discussing the topics of his legal troubles and jail more and more. Particularly, he would talk about recent criminal activities that he had been up to, and then his fear of jail.
If you're watching this and you're the guy with the curly hair, with the girl with the black hair who sometimes says hi to me, I'm sorry if I ever pointed a weapon at you. Like I said, I thought your vehicle is kind of like the other vehicle of this other bitch who's harassing me. So I'm sorry if I did that to you. I don't mean any aggressiveness or hate towards you at all. So... But towards the bitch that is in that vehicle, who keeps saying shit to me when she goes by, like, oh, you're better off gay, or stuff like, you're fake or poser, I don't know. What I'm gonna say is something very serious on here. People are lucky I don't have a gun.
Brandon was no stranger to making these kinds of threats. He had been saying stuff like this for quite some time. Whenever people were critical of him, he was quick to threaten their lives. And during one of these instances, Brandon would find himself in a bit of legal trouble. You see, Brandon's residence was located near a school, and many of these school kids were very well aware of who Brandon Brootal is and what he had done, so they would often ridicule Brandon for the messages that were leaked or his emo style. One day, Brandon couldn't take it anymore and would threaten this school in one of his TikTok posts. After a little bit of digging, people would find out that this was not the first time that Brandon had made a serious threat, as a college had received one from Brandon a number of years ago. Unlike that previous incident, Brandon was charged, and if found guilty, could face some time in jail. After making bond and being released from police custody, Brandon would make a number of TikToks trying to paint the situation in a completely different light.
So, what I want to say in this video is I'm in a little bit of trouble. I went to court and I got told I could face up to 60 days in prison. Cause a few years ago, I was skateboarding and people were going by harassing me on the road. And so I was swinging my skateboard around. And then someone saw me swinging my skateboard around and called the police. And I got charged with impeding traffic and I didn't show up for court when I was scheduled to. So when I showed up for court like a few days ago, they said I could face up to 60 days in prison. But, you know, I called my court-appointed attorney, but the girl answered instead of my attorney. And I talked to her a bit, and she said it's not likely that, she knows about my case, and she said it's not likely that I'm going to go to prison. Cause I don't want to go to prison because I have to take this out, my lip piercing out.
After all of this went down, things were very different for Brandon. Not only was he facing some serious legal repercussions for his actions, but he was also vehemently trying to defend himself from all of these accusations, as well as lamenting the fact that it had changed his life in a pretty significant way, no longer being welcomed in the scene or wanted by any women.
Women thinking I'm into kids just turns women off. And it makes me lose so many chances with women. Arrgh. I don't want to become violent to where I get violent towards a woman when I get rejected, because like that's just not me. But being rejected as much as I get rejected, man, like, there's incels, complete ugly incels who are complete assholes who can get more adult women than me, than I ever could. You know why? Because no one thinks they're into minors. All the adult women don't want to date me because they think I'm into kids. This is some bullshit.
As you can tell, Brandon was becoming increasingly more unstable. None of this was helped by the fact that him and his father were having serious financial issues. Brandon's father had been laid off from his job, claiming it was because of his age, and Brandon was no longer working, merely receiving his SSI payments, which was not enough to keep them where they were, having to move out and live in motels, which Brandon would be kicked out of due to his increasingly unstable behavior.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just staying in the car because I'm not allowed in the motel because they kicked me out because I was talking talking with someone over the phone that made some guests at the motel uncomfortable. So I have to be at the gas station in the car near the motel. I'm close enough to the motel to where it counts, to where I won't get in trouble with the ankle monitor guy.
You heard Brandon talking about how he was fine being in his car as long as he didn't leave the premises, and that's because after all of this, Brandon was put on house arrest, and now he didn't even have a house. Things were worse than ever for him, so it's not shocking to say that Brandon only got worse himself. He would continue to make threatening statements against establishments and people, comparing himself to figures in the past who had committed mass tragedies, and raging against the trolls. All of this would of course result in even more charges being levied against Brandon Brootal. Brandon even stating himself that he was making his lawyer's job not one bit easier by doing all of this.
That's my house arrest. This is gonna be for a while, honestly, because my attorney, she was gonna schedule a bond hearing for me in like 30 days from when I got out of jail, but she's gonna wait it out longer, since she said that she doesn't want to do it too soon because they're gonna add the threats I made on TikTok to my case where I could go back to jail. So she wants to wait a little longer. Oh, is the worst thing in jail? Just being around dudes, honestly. But yeah, and not having like women to talk to, but whatever.
His attorney saw the writing on the wall, that Brandon was not going to win this case. The evidence against him was airtight. The only strategy left was to delay the trial and give Brandon as much freedom as possible. But of course, this would not work. After a live where Brandon once again made threats, particularly rage-filled, he would be taken away by police, once again charged with making these horrible threats. And that is where Brandon Brootal, Keith McKennison, finds himself today, currently incarcerated for the crimes that I just mentioned, and in all honesty, it's where he needs to be. Brandon has proven in the past that he is capable of violence, and he has made these threats so many times it cannot be taken lightly. Not to say that one threat alone should be taken lightly. I'm a big proponent of free speech, but when people are making claims like this, they have to be taken seriously. It's one of the only preventative measures for these kinds of events that has some teeth, and in my opinion has saved countless lives already. There is no telling what Brandon would have done, but we do know what he has done. And it doesn't exactly scream a person incapable of the threats that he made. There is no telling how long Brandon will be in jail, but I can confidently say it's where he needs to be.